Welcome to the show. This is Two Brothers Sports Investments coming to you on the very first podcast. To my direct 12 is my brother, Corey Moore.
How's everybody?
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Executive producer, Jamison Weddle.
Sup?
Looking good, man.
Feeling good.
Looking good. If there's any single ladies out there, which I'm sure there are none listening to this.
Zero. Nope.
Jamison is a good-looking man.
Very disease-free, very available.
Well, we're very happy to be announcing that this is a place where sports nerds, sports geeks can unite. This is a very safe place. This is almost like your safe cave that we can all go to, if you will.
If you will.
To talk about sports, to talk about sports investments.
Absolutely. A lot of people are getting into it these days. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. We're not saying we know what we're doing, but
not at all.
We're using a platform to make it seem like we know what we're doing.
And this is a great time for the hobby. I mean, this is no longer just a silly little hobby. I mean, silly little hobbies are not mentioned in Forbes.
No, they're not.
I mean, silly little hobbies are not multi-billion-dollar industries.
No.
That I know of.
I mean, I'm sure there's a few.
Yeah.
But
Not as cool.
They're definitely not as cool.
No.
Especially if you like sports and beer and talking shit. Like,
right. Has everything.
Yeah, it does. Really, really eye-opener here. And you're getting in on the ground level. It's impressive.
It is. And it's a really cool time for collectors and that business because of all of the different social media platforms that are available to us right now.
So why do you think, because you've been in the hobby, if we're going to keep calling it that, even though I don't like to.
What would you call it?
I'm not sure, but I haven't thought about it enough.
Okay.
But
that's fair.
If you've been in the hobby for as long as you have, why do you think right now is such a prolific time for it? Because anytime anybody goes to Target or their retail place or anything, it's always sold out. You got to go in day of. You got to know when releases are, but everything's just missing.
Well, yeah.
What happened?
And to
how come all of these adults now are into cards again when before it was just like a kid thing?
Well, I think there's so many great returns for cards right now.
But what started that? Like, why did people realize that there were great returns for it? Because not everybody did when they went out and bought cards. Like, did they have nothing else to spend their money on? Were they bored as shit? Because you're not just going to research eBay as to what sells. Like, nobody has that kind of time. Like, what
right.
sparked everyone who used to do this as a child to do this again currently as an adult?
I don't know if I can point to one thing. I mean, I think there's several factors. I think a lot of it has to do with the global pandemic.
That makes sense.
I think there's a lot of truth in that.
Do you think that the global pandemic with like the stimulus money and things was a big help for that? Or was it just a lot of people bored on their ass and tired of their old lady and knew they had like a box of shit under their old bedroom in their parents' house?
Yeah, I think, all of the above. And, and a lot of it is there's like a card culture now.
I've noticed, yeah.
And it's really cool for me and us because we grew up collecting to see that. I mean, a lot of guys like our age, 30s, kind of getting back into collecting again. There's a lot of communities online for like doing group breaks. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's a really cool way to meet people in the business, hobby, whatever you want to call it.
So you're saying that group breaks are like the Tinder of card business?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you just meet people.
You just meet,
and I mean, magic.
Scottie Pippen rookie cards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
5 years ago, I bought a handful of these things for maybe $20 a piece. And then right when that documentary came out about, Michael, Scotty, and the Bulls.
Last Dance.
Yeah, the Last Dance.
Go watch it.
Exactly. And I had all these things graded at that time. You could just watch it explode overnight.
Sure. Yeah. And that's kind of how it's gone in general lately. Like if anything new that you can pull out of a retail pack or a blaster box, if it seems like during season, like right now is kind of dry for everything, and I think it's just a great time to buy whatever you can get your hands on, and not necessarily a good time to sell things. But if you can get your hands on something that's good or rare or whatever during season, like it shoots up like crazy. Like if somebody has a good day, their shit can double overnight. And then by the time you buy one off of somebody else and then try and sell it, maybe it's gone down some. Like it's crazy. It's like
exactly.
It's like playing a weird, less predictable stock market.
Yeah,
it's gambling.
It is gambling.
Yeah, it is
gambling.
100%
gambling.
And we're all degenerate gamblers. So
we are, and to think that we have it figured out is ridiculous. But
but I mean,
we can talk about how much we like it.
Seriously, we have it figured out.
Yeah. So here's something that's interesting. It's in the news. Chris Paul, Phoenix Sun.
Yeah.
What does that do? What does that do for Chris Paul? What does that do for the card industry? What does that do for the Phoenix Suns? What does that do? Because it's got to do something.
Well, it does a lot, and I've noticed just in looking at some of the other players on the Suns right now, like DeAndre Ayton,
garbage.
His rookie card has shot up,
and it should not.
Basically,
he's awful.
And Booker overnight because of Chris Paul going to the Suns, and I don't even really think that they are a playoff team.
I think Chris Paul made them a 9 seed to a 7 seed and eliminated in the first round. I think that's what he did.
Yeah.
I think DeAndre Ayton's probably still garbage, and I wouldn't put any. Like, if you got DeAndre Ayton cards and the price went up that much overnight,
sell them.
Dump that shit.
Sell them.
Absolutely dump it
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Devin Booker to me, he's a solid star.
Yeah, keep his stuff.
I would keep his rookie cards, grade his rookie cards. But if you're in the game of wanting to flip some of those cards right now, do it because you will.
I would flip anything DeAndre Ayton, but I hated him so much I never bought a single thing.
Yeah, I don't have any DeAndre Ayton cards.
No, and if you've got 3 years to sit and wait for PSA to come back with your grading stuff,
that's conservative.
Then hang on to your Devin Booker shit because he's going to continue to be good. He will.
There's absolutely a lot of truth in those types of events when players get traded, when there's a documentary like The Last Dance. I mean, it could be anything.
So what makes a rookie card so much more valuable than like a breakthrough year card or things like that? Why is a Mike Trout card, a rookie card, worth so much money, and like say an MVP year rookie, or not MVP year rookie, but MVP year Mike Trout card worth not nearly as much? Like, why is it so different? Because technically the same amount were printed, right?
Yeah.
Or close enough. So why is one worth so much more than the other? What makes like collectors hard over a rookie card opposed to a successful year card or like an all-star thing or something like that.
Well, I think that's just the standard. I mean, that's
Has it
what
always been that way?
I think so, especially, when you look at these really, really expensive cards like a Mantle rookie.
Well, that one's obvious to me at this point in time because of how rare it is, because of it's older.
Yeah.
And, the shit wasn't the same back then. They didn't make them the way they do now.
Right.
And the grading was ridiculous. It was like some housewife was trying to make a few extra dollars and was cutting out sheets of Mickey Mantle cards on the kitchen table while high on meth after cleaning the house. So the lines are all fucked up. Like it's not centered worth of shit. So like that's tough grades. But when you're stamping this crap out with machines like mass produced over and over again, and one grade from like 2011 is just as easy to get as 2012. Like why the discrepancy in price?
Well, I think somebody like Trout, I mean, he was a star so fast, and right away people could recognize that, you have a really transcendent player, somebody that's really going to, change the game, that is that special generational type figure.
Sure. Yeah.
In sports. And then there's a lot of times where, on the flip side of it, there could be a player where they may not do much their first few years.
Probably most of the time. I've noticed in baseball that like whoever the hot rookie is, it seems like every announcer out there on any network is just blowing the shit out of them. Like,
yeah,
they're going to be the next greatest thing ever. You've never seen anything like this. And then, they end up not doing much.
Isn't
Right.
that kind of a political push, though, that you think that the teams get behind and almost make them do that?
Are you saying like maybe the market drives it? Like if you had a good player on a big market team?
Well, just like anything that you're going to, like you mentioned, stocks. So if you're going to have these stockbrokers pushing certain stocks to drive it up.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot I said that.
Is that what's kind of happening?
Yeah.
Are they pushing a player just because they want to drive that up?
That's a great point, because I mean these teams have invested so much money in either like a high draft pick or somebody that's been traded to their team, where they have to try and market it any way that they can.
Right.
To push that stock up.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
To your point,
yeah.
Jamie. And that's
but
a great point.
that's for their organization though. Which if you're driving that person to get seats and people to fill seats in your place pre this year or whatever, then if they're constantly being talked about, I guess their value would go up in a sense. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the one thing that pisses me off about it used to just piss me off about sports, but now it pisses me off about like collecting and things as well, is how the market does affect the player and the card and the value in itself. Like we were just talking about it before, like that Diamondbacks asshole, Zach Gallen. Like,
yeah, it is kind of a double-edged sword.
He's had two incredible years in baseball, and he broke an amazing record that had stand for a long time. Most consecutive starts, allowing 3 runs or less. He broke that by like 2 or 3 starts even that had stood for a long time. And no one gives a shit about Zach Gallen because he didn't get any wins because he plays for the Diamondbacks and can't score any runs. He was in the Cy Young hunt, kind of based off of numbers, but he never would have gotten any damn votes for it because, ERA and all that shit and strikeouts based without any wins doesn't matter. So there's, that's what pisses me off because I want to buy every Zach Gallen thing I can find.
Right. Yeah. And do you think that that's like a failure for the for the team that they play on?
Fuck yeah.
For not being able to...
Of course I do.
Market that so we can flip his cards for a profit.
Right, yeah. I bought like 80 Zach Gallen cards this year, and no one will even bid on a single one of them. But like, yeah, I mean, because of the stock market aspect and all that, like you're playing a 60-game season this year, and you're taking a shit all over the place and losing a lot after you went on a run for a little while. And then you dump everybody off of your team that people have actually heard of. So now you have these few players left that are just sitting there suffering the whole time. Their value's going down. And I'm sure they're really pissed off about that. Their cards aren't worth what they used to be.
Or their jerseys, because there's no team shop.
Right, yeah, their jerseys, their fantasy baseball stock is way down. No one cares. Like these poor assholes, you know, you gotta. That's on the Diamondbacks.
That is.
I think the Diamondbacks owe me personally a lot of money.
A lot.
For the amount of money I've invested in their players that nobody will fucking look at right now.
Yeah.
With that being said, does that change the value? So if you've got this hot player and they're traded to another team and it's a team that's basically more of a contender. So, you know, they get traded to the Yankees. They get traded to one of the big teams. Does their card go up because of that team that they're playing on or not?
Yeah, it does. And it can be short term and long term. I've seen in different things. A prime example is Mookie Betts.
Fuck the Dodgers.
Yeah, seriously, fuck the Dodgers.
I mean that goes without saying, but
wasn't Mookie Betts MVP before he got traded to the Dodgers from a gigantic organization? So that's kind of cheating. So you take this guy with a huge dick and 8-pack abs who wins the MVP and a World Series, and then you move him to another gigantic market team, and he's in the run for MVP. If, you know, old Frederick Russell Friedman didn't have the year of his life. Did he win MVP, by the way?
He did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you put him on another World Series team. Like, they would have won the World Series without Mookie Betts, for Christ's sakes.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
honestly,
in terms
It
of
wasn't
value,
a World Series, though.
It wasn't.
Well,
it was. Like, I mean, if you're going to say it wasn't a World Series, then you're going to say that steroids ruined baseball. And
it was a spring training World Series.
It was. But in the fall.
In the fall.
They had, you know.
It was good. I mean, I liked it.
I liked it. I switched sides. I became a real big Padres fan this year.
Yeah. I mean, why did you become a Padres fan this year?
2 reasons. I thought they were going to have the MVP and the Rookie of the Year, and they didn't end up with either. But Fernando Tatis is probably the most dynamic player in baseball. And I'm going to spend the offseason buying everything Fernando Tatis Jr. that I can find.
Same.
And I don't think Cronenworth. I think the opportunity to make money on Cronenworth relied on him winning the National League Rookie of the Year, and he did not. I think he will have a good career, and his cards will go up in value if you have short prints and autos and things like that. But in general, I think he will probably end up being trade bait for contender teams.
Okay.
Honestly, like, I hope he stays in San Diego, because I think with the 2 young stars that they have and more, they're going to be good for a long time and hopefully beat the fucking Dodgers. But, you know, they're in the same division.
Yeah.
So that sucks for them.
There's a question that's been kind of swirling around. I know you and I talked about this in terms of people, teams, or analysts wanting either Mike Trout or Tatis on their team.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what my answer is, and I'll tell you why my real answer is that way. I am picking Tatis only because I have a bunch of Tatis shit So I'm expecting him to go away. By the time I got into this hobby business, whatever, Mike Trout was already untouchable for me, like from a price point, but realistically it's Mike Trout. Like, honestly, like Tatis has been hurt once, and he's a monster, and you just watch him. Like, there's certain players that like make the game look easy.
Right. They slow it down.
Yeah. Like he's definitely one. Luis Robert, who started off so hot, who ended up not finishing so well, is one. Like, you compare them to that one, like, was he a second baseman or a shortstop for the Angels when they were in the World Series? That like really short white dude who was like a 100% hustle guy who like had crappy throwing arm and everything else. Like, those guys just make the game look super hard, and they're triers. Like, these other dudes, it's just like they're out there floating around.
Just
and you could tell when you watch them. Like, maybe they're not doing really good right now, or they go through a slump or whatever, but they're just always on the verge of breaking through to go on some streak that like puts their team way ahead and puts them on another level and actually makes them MVP candidates, because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to not give like Mike Trout MVP every year, because as bad as the Angels were, if you took him off that team, how fucking bad are they now? Like, they're god awful, Like, so you remove like one. If you take the queen out of chess, like, you don't have a chance to win a thing. But if you take some rooks and knights and pawns off of there and keep your queen, you could still get a few of their pieces. That's what Mike Trout is.
Yeah,
he's easily the best. I think as hot as Fernando Tatis was, the Padres probably could have done better just based off of like his performance. And then he went through a bit of a slump and things and picked it back up in the playoffs. But as good as you are, if you start a playoff season with 2 starting pitchers, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Seriously fucked.
Right.
Especially with adding a whole nother round this year like they did.
Right.
Like, you can't sustain that. Like,
No.
But going back to what I said before, I'm buying everything of his.
Yeah.
And if you're selling something of his right now, you're a damn fool. And if you waited 1 week into the season, you would make.
Well, especially right now. I mean, it's not a good idea to sell Fernando Tatis PSA 10 rookie cards right now.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Sit on it.
Right.
Keep it.
Until, the first week of the season where he starts going off again.
Yeah. Did you sell your Tesla stock when they made a battery? No, you kind of waited till they did cars and other shit.
Well,
like,
I can't speak from experience.
Well, not me personally, or but would you have? Like, if you look at it like a hindsight thing, like if people are comparing this dude to Trout through 2 years already.
Yeah.
Not just 1 year like Alonso, he wasn't really that good. He just hit a shitload of home runs.
I mean, they can fucking compare him to Trout all day long. All that's going to do is crank up his value in terms of card price.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
So, he's just like Mike Trout. Yeah. He is Mike Trout.
He is Mike Trout.
Yeah. He's just, a different version.
Sure. On a different team.
Right. Yeah. So one thing that you've bought a lot of Paul Pierce stuff lately, because he's about to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And Paul Pierce, who I loved as a player, about to go in the Hall of Fame, his rookie cards, because that's all we give a shit about, even though we're trying to change that, is worth more than a Steve Nash rookie card, who is already in the Hall of Fame. Why do you think that is the case?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Well said.
That's a great question. I mean, Based on preference, I mean, I'm more of a Steve Nash fan.
Well, Steve Nash was fantastic. He was 2-time MVP. Without Robert Horry being such a cocksucker, they are definitely in the finals twice and probably won because the East is garbage.
I think more of it has to do with those championship runs for the Celtics. I think more of it has to do with the storied franchise being the Celtics.
Okay. Huh. Well,
I think that kind of goes back to our point of, Zach Gallen and the D-backs.
Versus Dustin May.
Yeah.
Because Zach Gallen's better than Dustin May. I like Dustin May.
I like Dustin May.
What's that? Fuck the Dodgers and Zach Gallen's better.
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
So how much does the guys you like play into you picking up cards versus the guys that you think, more like a scout, of this guy's going to be really good and I want this card, but I can't stand him? Or I love this guy, he's a hard player, he's one of my favorite players, and I'm going to go after that, and I think he's going to do well. Where do you draw the line of one of your favorite players versus just he's really fucking good?
So the successful people in this line of work would probably tell you they just buy everything with their head off of stats and probability and things like that. But me, I'm kind of more of like a
go with your heart,
go with my heart kind of guy. Like, I bought a shitload of Ketel Marte rookie cards. Like, I love that guy. They haven't done anything but kind of go down, really.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
that guy's a monster.
He is a monster. Huge dick on him too.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a sure Hall of Famer, but he's so much fun to watch. And once again, on a better team, people would know who he was. A lot of people know who he was, but who was that one asshole for the Diamondbacks? Aaron something. A while ago, he played second base. Oh, Aaron, whatever, I can't remember. But he was leading all National League second basemen in batting that year, and did not make the All-Star team. Aaron Hill.
Yeah.
And he
Didn't he hit for the fucking cycle?
Twice. He was hitting over 300. He was leading all National League second basemen in offense. And he got into the All-Star game because somebody couldn't play.
Right.
Like, if that fucker played for the Dodgers or almost anyone else, he would have been, voted in, fan vote immediately.
Right. But, and that's a really cool thing about I think collecting is that, like true collectors, people that just want, that are fans of certain players or teams, they'll go out and buy anything.
Well, that's how you make money.
Yeah.
In like the position that we're in, is you break you do one of your breaks with a certain hobby box, and you end up with the Dodgers as your team, which you'll explain later as to how a break actually works. But you get all of the cards out of that box that are Dodgers, and like all of those are gonna fucking sell to somebody because they want that crap. Like, it doesn't matter the player or anything. You're then betting on team, which works out good for us. But like player wise, I'm a heart person.
Yeah.
But if I get some shit on accident, I'm going to sell it to you and probably make my money back.
Well, yeah, I just did that the other night. There was a break for that hobby box I was telling you about, Mosaic football.
Yeah. How did we do, by the way? You never told me.
Well, I'm about to. There was
good.
Our division sucked. It was AFC East.
Yeah.
Which actually couldn't have been too bad because I was hoping there might have been a Tua.
But there wasn't.
There was not a Tua.
Not a single one.
Not a single Tua rookie card in there.
Well, he started behind Fitzpatrick.
I know, but right now, like, he is smoking.
Yes.
In terms of like card value.
And I'm talking dump. Like, if you've got Joe Burrow, you got Tua, you got that asshole from the Chargers, Herbert, like, maybe one of those guys are gonna stick.
Yeah.
But I'm not like hanging on to that, waiting for Pro Bowls and Super Bowls and things out of these guys. Like,
yeah, no, that's true.
I think that would be like, if you bought like a lot, which I like doing. I like buying a lot of cards, like a lot of 10 rookie cards or whatever. They're the same.
Smart.
You know, you send a few out to get graded, maybe flip some to get your money back, and then like you hold on to a couple just in case shit happens later on down the road. If you do that with any of those guys, you're a pretty safe bet. But if you like hog all of it thinking your kids are going to go to, you know, Purdue based off of your Herbert rookie card collection, you're most likely going to be a real disappointed motherfucker. Like, and so will your kid.
Yeah, like the break
when they're going to Albuquerque Junior College. Like,
well, you know, college isn't always isn't always the route, you know, everyone wants to go. I mean, the break that I was part of, the Mosaic break.
Yes. We were part of
AFC East.
Yeah. Pretty shitty. Real bad draw.
Pull a card, and it was the Jets.
Ooh.
Backup. Quarterback backup. Rookie card, some sort of refractor. I don't even remember what it was. Auto.
Oh, wow.
This thing wasn't, I don't even remember the guy's name. This thing wasn't even pulled 10 seconds, and I'm getting a direct message because it was a live break on Facebook, and there was a Jets fan. He says, hey, you want to sell that?
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
No. Well, yes, of course he want to sell that. Like,
yeah.
He's not going to be in the league. Josh Rosen was, you know, top 10 draft pick for the Cardinals not too long ago. He's not even on a team anymore.
Yeah.
He's on practice somewhere. You're the third stringer for the Jets. Like, sign everything you want. You could sign Dolly Parton's titties, and it's not going to be worth shit ever. Like, I'm sorry, man, but hopefully you stayed all 5 years and got your degree, because Best Buys are closing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that was interesting to me. It's just kind of eye-opening. It's like,
and I'm not saying I could do better. The fact that he was drafted by the Jets is a great personal feat for that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
I would love it if you know, my shitty autograph was on a card.
Right, absolutely. His mother's very proud.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
As far as like the hobby is concerned,
it was probably his mom who direct messaged me asking,
or it was him
for her son's.
It's like, I just signed the minimum rookie contract.
I'm gonna buy all of my cards.
Right, and I wonder if they do that. Lucas should have done that.
I would have done that.
Yeah, I would have.
Lucas should have done that for sure.
Yeah, actually, if I was in, I probably would have saved my money and bought a Taco Bell or something.
Just a Taco Bell?
Maybe a few Taco Bells. Do I have enough to?
What does that look like? What does that look like? Like, if you're a sports star and you buy a Taco Bell, do you decorate the Taco Bell with all of your memorabilia?
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
You can't?
I don't know. I don't own a Taco Bell.
I'm guessing no.
I think if you franchise a Taco Bell, you kind of got to go with Taco Bell.
Just got to go with Taco Bell.
Theme.
Yeah, the theme. Like south of the border, you know.
Yeah,
Let's say you were a Toronto Blue Jay and you tried to decorate your Taco Bell with Canuck shit. Like,
I mean, it would be unique for sure.
It would be unique.
I would eat at that Taco Bell.
Well, you'd at least take a selfie there.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
But it would do dick for your card value, by the way.
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
So, one asshole who I would put my money into right now, and I know we were talking about it a little bit before, who not involved in Taco Bell whatsoever, but Papa John's for sure, is...
Would Taco Bell have a higher value than Papa John's?
Not when we're talking about Peyton Manning.
Okay. All right.
Because
I like where this is going.
2021 Hall of Fame class coming up, and Peyton Manning's rookie card and like chrome and paper just shooting through the roof. It's too late to like get in there and rape the system by digging up all of the Peyton Manning gems that are available. Like, people know what they have.
Right.
But if you're able to get some now before the Hall of Fame class is introduced in 2021, you're looking at some good returns on that. And if you're able to get a few of them and hold on to one for a while, if you don't need the money back right away, that's even a better way to go about it for me. Peyton Manning is one of probably 5 cards that I'm going to really pursue here in the next couple of months.
Absolutely. And, you know, Peyton Manning is one of those guys that is just, when you think of like top 5 quarterbacks of all time. Certainly. A transcendent player who basically changed the game.
He's funny.
Yeah. He is funny.
You've never seen him on Saturday Night Live. That like you shouldn't even really be collecting cards. Dude's hilarious.
If you had one player that you're going to invest in long term, I would say put your money in Peyton Manning.
The one? You think the one? Even like now, like right now, like with Peyton Manning being this known guy who's obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time to play the position, you think he's still one of the top 5 to put your money in right now?
Right now. Absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
100%. Because his cards are still obtainable. They're not totally inflated like a Tom Brady PSA 10.
Well, not till this podcast comes out.
Well, right. You're welcome. I mean, I can share the story of just kind of how crazy the Peyton Manning market has been, and it's only going to continue that way. Is that several months ago, I bought a Peyton Manning PSA 10 rookie card. It was the Bowman Chrome 1 for $150.
Yeah.
I turned around and sold that a couple months ago, right at $1,000.
Yeah, the 9s are going for $150 right now.
Yeah. If you have money to invest in some cards, I would tell people, a slam dunk, a home run.
Oh, yeah.
A hole in one. Whatever you want to call it.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Peyton Manning's definitely the way to go right now. Short-term and long-term investment.
Yeah, short-term and long-term.
You're looking at probably when do they do what is it, October they do the Hall of Fame? So about a year. So a year to 10 years, Peyton Manning is going to be through the roof for you.
And I'll even go one step further on the Manning train.
Oh, Jesus.
Is invest in an Eli 10.
I'm buying Eli's like crazy right now.
Buy an Eli Chrome 10.
So since I'm buying Eli's, it means we are buying Eli's.
Correct.
And I really think Eli there. And I've read some shit that is just so dumb that I read this one article that I got really angry about. And I know I called you at least, and I told a few other people about this, is that it said the strength of the 2025 Hall of Fame class hurts Eli Manning. And I was like, fucking bullshit. Like, Eli Manning hurts the strength of the 2025 Hall of Fame class. Like, somebody's not going to get in because of him. He's not going to get in because of somebody else.
Right.
He is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have the numbers that Peyton had, but like as far as like a player goes and a winner, like, Jesus, Eli, that guy's unstoppable. Like, buy Eli Manning shit.
Buy Eli Manning.
Get Peyton Manning for more money, and as a short investment, less return. Buy Eli right now as a smaller investment, longer term, more money. 100%.
And both?
It's easy shit right there.
Right. And that's graded cards that we're talking about, graded rookie cards, long-term, short-term investments. On the TTM side of things, through the mail autographs, both Eli and Peyton Manning sign cards, usually for free. Like sometimes Peyton will like if you send some money for his foundation, but most of the time you don't have to send any money, and he'll sign cards. Usually he doesn't sign rookie cards anymore, though.
But what about what's some topics we're gonna maybe hit on next time?
Next time we'll go over how LeBron James is a big old bitch still.
I thought we just covered that.
Well,
you know, we have a lot of great content coming out this season, so I mean, we're excited to share with you guys each and every week. We want to hear from you. Also, we'll have our email address. We're gonna have some.
What's the email address?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's
I'm glad I did too, because you were
2 TOO brothers. 2 2 brothers TOOSI@gmail.com. All one word.
Yeah, and you can hit us up there with your comments and talk some shit if you want, because we will give it back to you.
Sure.
Or your questions.
Because we have a fucking podcast.
Yeah, and you probably don't.